Review 15, Systems of Loop Equations B. Determine the current and its direction through each resistor. We have a couple of loops here. We got a couple of batteries. So let's do like we always do. We're going to assume that we have some currents in here. I'm going to assume I have I1 going in that direction. And I1, 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 I1. Then when we get here, we have a couple of options. Something has to happen right here. If I take I2 going that way, then what's going to be going through that 30 ohm resistor? Won't it be I1 take away I2? Let's see if that works. I2, 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 all the way up to here. When I add in this portion, I will in fact get I1. All right. We only have two unknowns, so we need two loop equations. I'm going to start at the dot. I'm going to go counterclockwise, and I'm going to go just around the left loop for my first equation. Here we go. 20 minus 15 I1 and minus 30 times the quantity I1 minus I2, and by that time we're back to our dot, so we write 0. How does this simplify? 20 minus 45 I1 plus 30 I2 equals 0. Let's write a second loop equation. How about we'll go around the right loop. I'm going to start at that little star, and I'm going to go counterclockwise. I like to go in the direction of my assumed currents, because then I know that it's always minus IR whenever I go through a resistor. Here we go, 25. And now I'm going through a 5 ohm resistor, but then right after that I'm going through a 10 with the same current. So that means total I'm going through 15 with my I2. All right, now we're going through the right loop, we said, and we're going down this way. But this is one of those cases where you don't always run into this, but we are now traveling in a direction opposite to the direction that we have assumed the current is flowing, which means we need to go plus IR right here, plus 30 times this quantity I1 minus I2, close parentheses, and then we're back to our starting point equals 0. Anytime you go around a loop in a direction that is opposite to the way you have assumed the current goes, you don't go minus IR, you go plus IR. So that's what we did there. All right, let's do this. Again, I'm going to put my I1s first. So I'm going to go 25, and it's going to be plus 30 I1. And then what do I have here? Minus 15 I2 and minus 30 I2. So that's minus 45 I2. And that should equal 0. Let's set up our system of equations. Just to keep things simple, I won't make any changes with regard to positive and negative signs. Remember that we have to have the I stuff on the left side of the equal sign. You have to have the constants on the other side. That means that this 20 that I'm pointing at is going to end up on this side. It's going to be negative. So the first row of my matrix is going to be negative 45, positive 30, negative 20. Negative 45, positive 30, negative 20. The next one, same sort of thing. See my pen? It's pointing at the 25. When we put it on this side, it's going to be negative 25. So you know what? I'm writing that in right now, negative 25. And then we have positive 30 and negative 45. And of course, you could do this without a calculator, but it's real slick with a calculator. And once you know what you're doing, you're less likely to make a mistake. Let's see if we can do this. Second matrix, we're going to go to Edit, hit Enter. This is a 2x3 matrix. We're going to read them left to right. Negative 45, Enter. We're going to the right now. 30, Enter. Negative 20, Enter. Now we go to the next row. 30, Enter. Negative 45, Enter. Negative 25, Enter. So there's our matrix. Let's quit. Now we need to go into the matrix again. and we need to go to math. Let's toggle down until we hit RREF. Hit enter. It's going to want to know what matrix we want to put in there, and we have to tell it. So you have to go second matrix, and since we only have one matrix in there, that's the one we want. Hit enter. Hit enter to tell it to do its calculations. All right, 1.47 and 1.53. Let me write those down. So I1 is 1.47 amps, and I2 is 1.53 amps. The fact that these are both positive means that we guessed correctly when we were drawing our arrows in here. What kind of currents do we have going through here? For the 15 ohm resistor, we have 1.47 amps, and it's going that way. So we got that one done. How about through the 5 ohm resistor? I'm just going to write it both up here. These two guys, I2, through the 5 and the 10 ohm resistor, it's 1.53 amps. Going like that. Now there is one other resistor, and that's a 30 ohm resistor here. Now what's happening there? Well, here it's I1 minus I2 in the upward direction. Just real quick, you could do it in your head, but I'm going to do it on the calculator. I1 is 1.47 minus I2, which is 1.53, equals, that's negative 0.06 in the upward direction, which means what? It means really what's happening is we're traveling this way and we're going 0.06 amps in that direction.